Welcome to Tequila and Terror, a paranormal and true crime podcast where we will drink tequila and tell terrible tales. My name is Keisha and I will be telling paranormal stories, and Wes will cover true crime.
How's it going, everybody?
Welcome to episode 6. Episode 6.
We're pretty sure it's episode 6.
we
have
think
consumed
this is
booze
6.
once again. So
Sorry, guys.
it's
It's
bad.
just going to go downhill from
Yeah.
here. It's fine.
But
It's okay.
thanks for listening if you still are. I guess
We
you
really
are.
appreciate you all.
And to the people in Australia, that no sarcasm, that's really awesome.
We thought that was pretty cool.
We usually have a midweek slump, and the people in Australia completely blew the slump away. So,
They were slump defeaters.
yeah. So
Slump battles.
that was awesome. I like Australia. Maybe we can do an all Australian episode one time. Like, I can find an
Maybe.
Australian killer, and you could probably find an Australian ghost.
Yeah. Or a couple.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's cool. But thanks.
All right. Well,
What do you have for us today, Keisha?
this week we're talking about a place that you and I have tried to visit multiple times.
The Waverly Hills?
Waverly Hills.
Whoa.
Yeah. I figured that since it's been such a tough route trying to get there for us, that I might as well just go ahead and cover it.
Cool.
Waverly Hills originally was owned by Major Thomas H. Hayes. The land on which Waverly Hills was eventually built housed Hayes' family home and a schoolhouse. It is stated that much of the land was acquired from Major Hayes in 1908, but there is no record of who did the transaction or how the transaction took place. As you may know, during the 1800s and 1900s, tuberculosis, also known as the White Death or consumption, again, not from food,
It just makes me want nachos when you say consumption.
makes you want cake.
Or cake.
Zebra
or any of the
cakes.
foods.
Consumption was rampant in America.
Could you imagine if we got sponsored by zebra cakes?
God, we would be the worst humans
I
alive.
would weigh 600 pounds and just sit here and, like, in my own filth and talk about killers and eat zebra cakes.
That would be awful.
That'd be a
Please
good
don't.
commercial. Hey, hostess, if you're listening, hook us up.
Is that even a Hostess product?
Whatever brand you are, you know
Okay.
who you are, people.
You know who you are.
And
all
milk.
right.
Sorry.
It's okay. We got this. Zebra cakes.
Mm-hmm.
Zebra cakes were rampant in America, apparently.
These are the only laughs we're going to get from this episode.
In the early
because my
1900s.
story is horrible. So,
So, in 1900, Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville.
I always say Louisville.
It's not Louisville.
Oh.
It's Louisville, I think is how they pronounce it. We say Louisville because we're awful. Louisville, Kentucky had one of the highest death rates in America from tuberculosis.
They also have a lot of whiskey.
Now they do, not then.
Oh, that's...
In 1910, a hospital was constructed in Jefferson County on the land so shadily acquired in hopes to battle the disease. The hospital was built on low swampland, which is, the best conditions for disease to breed and spread. So that was already something going for them.
nothing like a hot and humid swamp to have a hospital.
It's awesome. It's so good. The original hospital only housed 40 beds and was soon overcrowded. Because like I said, these people had the highest rate. They soon added a wing on, intended to house those who were the sickest, and eventually added a 40-bed children's area as well as a school. In 1926, an entirely new, more modernized building was erected on the grounds with hundreds of beds. Medical staff lived on site, devoting their lives to curing tuberculosis. So, since medical staff lived there, they weren't allowed to leave because obviously, there were chances of it spreading. The grounds
Grouse?
the grounds housed, is what I was trying to say. The grounds housed the hospital as well as a post office, barbershop, school, dentist, among other things. So it was basically a one-stop shop, self-contained city.
So you never have to leave for zebra cakes.
No.
That's cool.
You were really trying for a zebra cake sponsorship,
Yep.
aren't you? Oh, heavens.
Bye, little Debbie.
Oh, babe. Okay. So at this time, Waverly Hills was considered the most advanced sanatorium in the country. During the time, they believed that fresh air and plenty of rest and nutrient-rich foods would help the patients rid themselves of the disease.
So advanced.
Yeah. So, experiments were conducted in search of a cure, since obviously healthy food and fresh air was not helping anyone. They would expose the patient's lungs to ultraviolet light to stop the spread of bacteria by putting the patient in sunrooms using artificial light. So basically they would just like keep them in a room with the light on constantly. They would not let them have any darkness. Or they would put them on the roof or on open porches. Since fresh air was considered a cure, patients were placed on the porches or in front of windows no matter what season, which I'm sure only aided in the growth of the bacteria in their lungs.
Yeah, especially during the summer in the South.
In the swampland.
Yeah, all the mosquitoes.
They, unfortunately, this is not funny. There are actually pictures of patients hanging out in chairs covered in snow receiving their quote-unquote treatment. So it didn't matter how the weather was. If it was raining, if it was snowing, they were out there receiving their quote-unquote treatment and during these terrible conditions, probably making them even sicker.
Yeah, that's probably getting pneumonia. And
it's awful. Like, their lungs are already crappy enough. Come on. But it was a different time. Pretty sure that's one of our catchphrases at this point.
Yeah, always.
It was a different time.
I confuse leprosy and tuberculosis for some reason all the time. I know there's nothing alike, but
those are completely different things, babe.
But they put them both, and there was always leper colonies and tuberculosis hospitals.
Okay,
I know lepers' skins fall off, I think.
Lepers are like in the Bible, too.
See, I'd have to read that first, I guess.
Yeah, you need to work on that whole religion thing.
But I think there was a leper colony in Hawaii.
Okay, well, let's delve into that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
we'll do some more research before we know about lepers, because I know nothing. Okay. So they would hang out in chairs on these sun porches or the roof or wherever. They also would place heavy sandbags on patients' chests to see if it would help.
No.
Why?
I am not the tuberculosis doctor, but I'm going to say that the answer is no.
I have no idea. These people are crazy. Other worse treatments, because it gets worse than having to sit in the snow and have a sandbag put on your chest.
That's like an old witch test thing where they just put weights on your chest.
Yeah. So they include surgical implantation of balloons into the lungs that would then be filled with air to expand the lung, which is hella dangerous. And then often fatal surgical removal of muscles and ribs from the chest to allow the lungs to expand further. Which, again, why?
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
Most of the patients ended up leaving through the body chute rather than through the front door.
The body chute?
The body chute. Okay. So the body chute was an enclosed tunnel that was actually used by staff to receive supplies in the winter when the weather conditions proved harsh. Kind of like, weather today across much of America. It's awful. So the tunnel went from the hospital to the railroad tracks at the bottom of the hill. And I'm sure you guys can't see my little hand motion that I just made making a hill, but
it's like
I did.
An S shape.
Yeah, it's a little hill. They used
kind of like a roller coaster they put dead bodies on.
Kind of. We're about to get there.
Was there a loop?
No, there's no loop-de-loop.
Oh.
They used a motorized rail and cable system, and it is said that the staff used this to secretly lower bodies down to waiting trains so that patients did not see the corpses leave and have to endure the mental turmoil that would likely come from seeing others pass away from the condition that they had.
That would do it, because I think I remember seeing like 37,000 people or something died there.
Okay. So that is false. I didn't write this down, but it is said that it wasn't 37,000. Like, at the height, I think it was like, don't get me lying, maybe 100 a day.
That's a lot.
But it wasn't like 37,000. It was like maybe, again, I'm probably lying about the actual number, but it was like maybe 8,000.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
it's still a lot.
It's a lot of dead bodies.
But not as many. Because that was like at the absolute height. The most people who died in a day was like 137.
But having disposed of 100 bodies a day,
yeah.
If people just see a constant stream of bodies go by, that would kind of put a...
And it's said that the doctors basically told the nurses, hey, this is the way we're going to do this because their physical health and their mental health are equally as important. Like, they need to be mentally strong if they're going to be this physically ill.
And we have to put a loop in the body chute coaster just to up their morale a little bit.
Oh, my God. After they're already dead.
Hey.
Up the morale of the nurses who have to push them down
like
there.
a camera pointed on a deal taking your picture at the end of the ride?
Oh, my God. You were awful. Oh, my God. Okay. Let me find where I'm at because now I'm completely lost.
At the loop in body chute.
Loop and body chute. Okay. Yes. By the late 1930s, tuberculosis cases started to fade, and by 1943, medications had been created that helped eradicate the disease. Waverly Hills closed for the first time in 1961, and then the following year reopened as Woodhaven Geriatric Sanatorium.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's rumored that many of the patients were mistreated and experimented on during the time that Woodhaven was open. Some of the rumors were true, some of them were just rumors, but it has been proven that the sanatorium did use electric shock therapy on the seniors to treat Alzheimer's and dementia, and it said that some even died from this, which sucks. I feel really bad for old people.
Yeah, but...
I mean, they're elderly. They've been through a lot already. Just cut them some slack.
And you're going to go through a little bit more, it seems.
Yeah. Okay. So in 1982, the state closed the facility for the last time. The building changed hands multiple times. One developer had plans to turn the property into a minimum security prison, but the neighbors were like, no.
We've already seen enough stuff go down here.
No.
Keep your prison.
Yeah. So the next wanted to turn it into apartments.
I would stay there. I'm okay with that.
I mean, yeah, we would. And then the next wanted to basically build a mega church and create the world's largest statue of Jesus on top of the hospital.
What?
Inspired by the one in Rio de Janeiro, however you say that. Kind of like the one in the Christ of the Ozarks, but like bigger. Yeah. He wanted to build a chapel, theater, and gift shop, as well as this
you gotta have a gift
really
shop.
large Jesus.
See our big old Jesus up here in the hills of Louisville.
Listen, the higher the hair, the closer to God. The higher the Jesus, the closer to God, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't really
gonna
know.
Be all the way up there.
Oh, yeah.
If a Pentecostal woman got on top of Jesus, that's all the way to heaven.
All the way to heaven.
Would Jesus have like an observation deck in his head so you get
Oh my God, that would be so cool.
Or on
like
his hand, that way you
lasers
could
out
be
of his
in.
eyes.
Oh, that's a good idea. I was saying if they had it in his hand, you could be in like the hand of Jesus.
Oh, okay. We need to stop dreaming about that because we're gonna create like a whole new thing.
I kind of want to go to a Jesus statue now that has laser eyes.
I don't think any of them have laser eyes, but we'll do some more research on that later.
Okay. If you know of a Jesus statue that has laser eyes,
hit your girl up. I'm the one who does the social media, so it's me. Hi. So funding for this one fell short as it was estimated to cost about $12 million, and in a year's time they only raised about $3,000.
That's like some of our fundraising right there.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna build this big old Jesus in the hills. Give me all your money.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So there's that. And I can't use my computer. I'm sorry, I'm broken. The property was eventually bought by Charlie and Tina Mattingly, who are the current owners. They have a goal of restoring and preserving the old sanatorium. They host paranormal tours on the property and even have a laser light show on the outside of the building at Christmas time. God. I know we missed it. I totally was going to... I was sick all of last month, so I'm sorry. We'll do it next year. This year. It's January.
Some year.
We'll do it eventually. We'll go. All right. And it's ghost time. Super special ghost time.
Ooh.
I don't know where that came from.
Alcohol is its name-o.
It is. Okay, so it said that the majority of the paranormal activity on the property happens on the 5th floor. It said 2 nurses committed suicide in room 502, one of which hanged herself, one of which hanged herself, we're going to go with that one, on a light fixture or exposed pipe upon finding out she was pregnant. It said that she was unmarried and had gotten pregnant by one of the doctors or administrators of the facility who was married and didn't plan to leave his wife. Another nurse is said to have jumped from the patio on the roof and plunged to her death. Some claim she was pushed, not punched, but there was no records to tell us which is true.
For our stories to be so alike and us not talk about them, they are also so similar. I mean, wait. Alcohol derailed my thought halfway through that. For our stories to not us talk about, I can't make words.
Considering we don't discuss our stories prior to recording, apparently they're similar. I still don't know his yet, so we'll see.
Caveman says story I like.
Okay, caveman, calm it down over there, buddy. All right. Visitors claim that they have heard disembodied voices stating to get out on this floor and claim they have seen shapes moving in the windows, which plays in later. So just remember that, y'all.
Shapes in windows.
Yeah. The legend of the man in the white coat comes alive here. Hi.
Man in the white coat.
Yes, thank you for that. People have reported seeing a man in a white coat walking in the kitchen as the smell of food wafts through the room.
What kind of food?
We're about to get to that.
Ooh.
So,
Hope it's
investigators have claimed that they could smell bread baking in the kitchen when it is obviously not a functioning kitchen anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. Hasn't been functioning for years. They smell bread.
Could that be residual stuff?
Yeah.
From the kitchen and the walls? Or?
Yeah, it could. And like residual energy and all of that.
Oh, I was thinking like physical, like over time.
I mean, it's been like but I can't math, but a whole bunch of years.
At least this many years.
Yeah. You just put up hands.
Yeah.
Just put up hands.
Our calculations show that it's been this many.
The death tunnel. Dun dun dun. Is supposedly a paranormal hotspot, commonly providing EVPs for investigators as well as disembodied voices, footsteps, and shadows. So
I would say that would be a haunted place.
Yeah. There is the ghost of a small child. They call him Timmy. Who is said to be 6 or 7 years old, who passed at Waverly Hills. People will bring toy balls with them when visiting and invite Timmy to play with them. And many people have reported instances where the ball has moved on its own, completely untouched.
I've seen some videos of that.
You and I watched BuzzFeed Unsolved's paranormal episode where Ryan Bergara and the other dude, Shane, went, and they rolled the ball, and like it rolled back to them, and all of a sudden it rolled right under the name Ryan. Which I thought was cool, but dude was like, no, the floor's uneven. But, you know,
That's
I mean, there are instances. Yeah.
Some of that stuff can look like an optical illusion. Like the floor may be unlevel, but look level because of the way the walls are. So if you put the ball on the floor, it's going to look like it's rolling towards you because the floor is actually
and with
unlevel.
it being open air like that, a lot of the times, that's also something that comes into play because there's so many, like, of those sun porches. If you Google Waverly Hills, I'm sure I'll post a picture on our social media as well, but you can tell like there are these big open spaces. If windows are open, creates kind of a wind tunnel.
I remember seeing on the old Ghost Hunters what had Jason and Grant. I don't know if you're talking about this in the story or not, but they had a video of a thermal camera that I still think it was BS, but it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I wish that show would get on Hulu or something.
That would be awesome. The fourth floor is popular for the amount of apparitions that have been seen here. Sometimes they appear full-bodied and sometimes just appear as a pair of eyes.
That's creepy.
I don't like that. I would rather you just like be disembodied feet or like disembodied hands. Do not just show up as a pair of eyes. That is creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Visitors claim to have been touched and even pushed by ghosts on the property. There have also been claims that visitors have experienced hearing moans as well as doors slamming shut. Not like sexual moans, like those of people dying from tuberculosis.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Like groany moans.
Groans,
not
moans.
Not like sexual moans.
Oh, okay.
God bless. Oh, heavens. Okay. Doors slamming shut and have even seen footsteps suddenly appear in puddles, which I'm not sure if that means that they're like appearing coming from the puddles, like walking out of the puddle, or if they're like random foot indentations in pools of water like Jesus walking on the water. I don't know if you know anything about Jesus walking on the water, but...
I know he turns water into wine.
Okay. Well, that's all you need to know, buddy. All right. And there is even claims that a grim presence, some call the Creeper...
The Grim Creeper?
Maybe... is said to be different from all of the other spirits on the property, stated to carry an aura of doom, and rarely is seen. This inhuman spider-like entity is said to follow those who experience it around, crawling.
What the hell? Ghost spider?
Crawling on the walls and the ceilings, which is where I said would come into play later.
I want to see that thing.
Yeah. I tried to find a picture. If you guys find a picture or video of this, please send it to me. I was strapped for a time and I looked as much as possible.
There are none because it's not real.
Yeah, I know. I really tried to find it though because I was super into it. It was exciting.
Yeah. You can make up whatever kind of ghost. We're going to go there and say there's a ghost of an elephant in there.
Anyways, so Waverly Hills actually does tours now.
Yes.
And overnight investigations. They do tours that are like an hour and a half to 2 hours, Friday and Saturday nights. They also do public investigation or public paranormal investigations that are like 6 hours and 8 hours. Historical guided tours on Sundays. So if you get a chance, go.
Really hard to book,
take pictures and video. EVPs if you get them. Tag us in them because we're super excited about this. Post it to all your social media and show us.
We tried to book one like 3 months in advance and it didn't happen. Yeah.
It was awful. But we'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
We'll go. All right, babe. So what terrible, horrible, disgusting thing are you talking about?
First, I have some breaking news.
Do you?
It turns out that zebra cakes are made by Little Debbie.
What?
Yeah. So Little Debbie, if you're listening, send some our way.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Also, wait.
Make a lot of people happy here. You're still listening. I do have a little bit of a palate cleanser story for you.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, this guy in Michigan, it was late at night. Well, first of all, let me start back over.
Okay.
He went into this adoption agency and he saw a puppy that he liked in there.
Okay.
And he went to try to adopt this puppy and they wouldn't let him because you had to pay $75 and do all this stuff.
Okay. Like, you got mad because we were going to adopt a puppy.
We tried to adopt a dog, and these people wanted $150 for me to get a dog.
To walk through our house.
And they wanted me to fill out all this paperwork.
And Wes is not very patient, y'all.
No, I'm not. I don't even wait for food.
He is not. We do not wait for food. If there's more than a 15-minute wait, we're gone. But yes, continue with your story, sir.
But they probably wanted this guy to fill out all this paperwork, wanted them to come check out his house. So he's like, no, that's cool. So he goes back later that night and steals the puppy.
What? He stole a puppy?
Yeah, he broke in and stole the puppy. There's security camera footage of him taking the puppy out, not even trying to hide his face.
Oh my God.
It's the cutest picture ever. So he runs out with his puppy in his arms.
Oh my God. This guy really wanted a stinking puppy.
I love it. I was like, I can see that.
You.
I see this crime. I'm all for. Steal all the puppies you want, but don't talk to the cops about it.
Maybe cover your face. Maybe don't break in somewhere.
Oh, he was smiling ear to ear with that little puppy. The puppy was cute, too. But the sad thing is they caught him because he wasn't a very smart criminal. Like, I mean, if I was in a puppy stealing mood, I probably would just go in there like, give me all the puppies, too. I'd take a couple of cats, too.
We're going to be those people with like 7,000 pets. It's fine.
But he got caught. I don't know if he got to keep the puppy. Surely he did. I think better not take that. If he went back for that puppy, I say give him the puppy.
I feel like I think you say that, but I feel like they probably were like, this man has committed a crime. He does not deserve a puppy.
I think if the trial goes to the jury and they show the smile on his face when he was taking that little puppy out of there, nobody could convict him. Well, Keisha, give them the recipe for all of what this beautiful, tasty drink that we had tonight was.
So basically I made a fake margarita.
Oh.
Ish drink.
Ish.
Listen, I don't know how to bartend. I just pretend like I do. Let me use the Google real quick and find out what I made.
I thought you had it rolled out. These people can Google shit.
No, it was an ounce of tequila, half of an ounce of triple sec, and then I just filled the rest of the glass with orange juice. And then I put lemon juice in it. And then I spat in yours.
Oh, thanks. I probably needed that.
I thought you'd appreciate it.
Get me a drink, woman.
Oh, dear sweet baby Jesus. Please don't ever say that again.
I won't.
Oh, heavens. All right. Well, so thanks for listening. Even though this has been a little bit difficult to deal with this week.
I think we got through it pretty good.
Yeah. That was just a lot.
Could be, I guess, that the booze kicked in midway and I kind of forgot what I talked about during the first half.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Well, as always, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher.
That's the important
You were
ones.
already listening to us, so I'm sure you know where to find us, but share us with your friends,
Yeah,
please.
tell the friends.
We are contactable. Easily contacted.
Give us your digits, girl.
You got mine. You can email us at tequilaandterror@gmail.com. Send us suggestions. Say, hey, I really liked the episode. Hey, you kind of smell.
The girl was good. The drunk redneck was mildly entertaining.
Really? Okay. Please rate and review us on your podcast app because we need more podcast reviews like that one. Because that was definitely my favorite. If you don't know what we're talking about, look at our reviews.
I think for our 10th episode, we're probably going to do a giveaway.
Okay.
It's like maybe a gift card or something. If you like and share our page, we'll give you an entry. If you subscribe, we'll give you an entry. And if you review us, we'll give you an entry. And we'll throw all those names in there for a gift card to Amazon probably.
Yeah, we'll discuss it on our social media pages and let you guys know. You can find us on our social media pages at Tequila and Terror Podcast on Facebook, at Tequila and Terror Podcast on Instagram, and I guess we've given up on Twitter. I think we're at Tequila Terror.
Yeah,
I might find
still
the
don't
login
remember.
and
I'm probably
login
going to
for
give you that.
Yeah.
Twitter to me is just a cesspool.
I like Twitter.
I hate it.
I tweet a lot. Mostly about the raccoons that live in my attic, but
I think we're still planning on doing a show from the Crescent on Valentine's Day. If those plans could possibly fall through.
Okay, not on Valentine's Day,
but near it.
Close to like a Valentine's adjacent episode at the Crescent. If you guys are interested in that, let us know. And thanks for listening.
Maybe I shouldn't have I may delete that part.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to spill the beans on it yet.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think you were going to tell people about it.
Oh, well. I probably won't. But
all right.
Bye.